This is the Crypto Mile, a square mile in the financial heart of the city. On this week's show, we'll learn about the upcoming Ethereum merge. We'll be chatting about the merge with Dankrad Feist, who works for the Ethereum Foundation, focusing on the future upgrades of Ethereum's protocols and design. Welcome to the Crypto Mile. Ethereum is the world's second biggest cryptocurrency by market cap after Bitcoin. But in terms of sheer potential, it could be the most important blockchain in existence. It promises to become the base layer of a new decentralized internet, dubbed Web3. The rate of adoption of the Ethereum blockchain and the use case of the many applications that are deployed upon it keep expanding. But this blockchain that was co-founded by Vitalik Buterin is not yet complete. It is still in a developmental stage with various steps and stages to go through. This episode will look at the most important upgrade of this blockchain to date, the long-awaited merge, which has been scheduled for this September. The merge is intended to shift the blockchain from the current high-energy use proof-of-work method of validating transactions to a more environmentally friendly model called proof-of-stake. But what effect will this have on the balance of power within the cryptocurrency ecosystem? And will it affect the value of Ethereum's native cryptocurrency called Ether? Today, we'll be meeting with one of the core developers behind the merge, Dankrad Feist. Okay, let's head downtown to meet him. Dankrad, could you explain to us, what is the Ethereum merge?
The merge is an upgrade of Ethereum that we've been preparing for a long time. The reason it's called the merge is that currently we are running two different chains for Ethereum. So if you have ever used Ethereum before, then you are using the old the proof-of-work Ethereum chain. Proof-of-work, that refers to something that we also call mining, which is this algorithm where we use lots of computers to solve certain cryptographic puzzles in order to create blocks. If you have heard about it, then you probably have heard about the huge environmental problems that currently creates, because this consumes a massive amount of energy, and so it produces a massive amount of CO2 as well. What the other chain, the proof-of-stake chain, is currently running on is a new algorithm that is already also in use for some other chains, but wasn't really available in this form when Ethereum was created. And this does not rely on this waste of resources as proof-of-work does. Instead, it creates security by locking coins, in this case Ether, the currency of Ethereum, up. And this can be used to secure Ethereum. And the merge will be the merge of these two chains. The old chain that currently runs all the Ethereum application, but is on this old mining algorithm, and the new chain, which runs the new proof-of-stake algorithm, but currently does not actually run any applications. And what we'll do is we put all the applications on the new chain, the proof-of-stake chain, and thus get rid of the mining.
Okay, and how will the merge benefit the ordinary user of the Ethereum network?
What it will do for ordinary users is that I would say there are two things. One is that it will improve the security of Ethereum. So for example, you notice that if you send Ether to an exchange, then it will take a few minutes until it is confirmed there. That will become faster in that process. The second one, well, it depends what you call users, but I would still say it's a benefit for users, or at least people who invest in Ethereum in some way, is that it will reduce the issuance. So I mentioned previously that mining, we have to pay the miners a very high amount of Ether, so that's about 5% of the total amount of Ether that's out there every year, and this will stop, and that will in some ways benefit the value of Ether potentially, and makes it basically a better coin to hold.
So after the merge, Ethereum is to become a deflationary cryptocurrency. Currently, there is an annual issuance of 5 million ETH, but this is to be slashed by around 90%. So why bring in this new monetary policy?
It's always advantageous to issue as little new money as you can. Like, there's no reason to just give it away, because that just if you just inflate the supply, if you increase the supply, then in expectation, you will expect that the price will go down, because there are just more of these coins. So far, Ethereum has always had the policy to put security first. So whatever we need to pay for the security of Ethereum, we will pay. But the great thing is that thanks to the proof-of-stake algorithm, as I mentioned earlier, it is a much cheaper algorithm. So it requires much less issuance of Ether to get to the same security, and actually not just the same, but actually an increased security. And so that's why we're going to decrease the total issuance of Ether.
Do you want to comment on what this could do to the value of ETH?
It naturally creates a sort of demand for Ether, because now you have to constantly pay these fees, but the total issuance is less. So that is something that can make an asset valuable. So whereas like an asset that has a constant issuance only, as for example Bitcoin does at the moment and Ethereum does have at the moment, this creates a constant selling pressure on that asset. It can only keep its value if there is an equivalent demand for the asset. But with this, as long as there's demand for just using Ethereum, that will already create demand for Ethereum, and thus it would overall, in expectation, everything else being the same, you would expect that it might increase the value of Ether.
Dankrad from the Ethereum Foundation, thank you very much. That was a fascinating chat.
Thank you.
After the merge, two factors could have a major impact on the price of Ether. It will become a deflationary cryptocurrency, and as the supply shrinks, and supposing that demand rises, this should increase its value. Also, a successful transition to proof of stake could place Ethereum in a more favourable position for inward investment from institutional finance, because it removes that contentious carbon footprint that is linked to the legacy proof of work mechanism for validating transactions. However, opponents argue proof of stake could place control of the blockchain in the hands of those who can stake the most Ethereum. But these same opponents support proof of work, which could place control of the blockchain in the hands of those with the largest mining operations. Could there be more to decentralization than meets the eye? I'll see you next week on the Crypto Mile.